Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to study about multi-query RAG, and as you can see over here in this flowchart diagram, this RAG is quite good. What does it do? So let me just give you a conceptual overview of what it does. So a single user query is often too narrow, vague, or phrased in a way that misses relevant documents. So what is the solution to this problem? The solution to this problem is that we have to automatically rewrite the question into some numbers, some like n different phrasing, retrieve for each and every question phrasing. For each and every question, we have to retrieve a relevant chunk or relevant passages or relevant document from the vector store. Then deduplicate and merge the results before generating an answer. So why do you have to do this? Some of the documents might be tangentially relevant to the passage to the passage that the user might have asked there. So just look at this flowchart diagram over here. The user asks a question, then the LLM query rewriter, it goes ahead and writes them into 1, 2, 3, 4, and the number of times you want it. Then for each and every question that the user asks, you will go ahead and retrieve a candidate chunk. As you can see over here, all of them are put in a pool, and then deduplication of cars. And then we have to re-rank. Why is re-ranking important? Some of them might be tangentially relevant to the user question, might not be useful in this situation. That is, so we have to re-rank them. And then based on that ranking, we'll go ahead and so the re-ranking helps in improving precision. That is obvious, as you know. So we will go ahead and get our final context. This final context is the one that shall give it to the system prompt. The system prompt will go ahead and generate a final answer to the user question. So this is the flowchart diagram over here. Now let's go ahead and look at the code base, what it does. So in this, before even we go ahead and look into the code base, let me run this program so that you can see what I'm talking about. We are still using a hysterectomy as our source of question. So what operating steps should be taken before performing a hysterectomy? So we are building a vector store. That means we are ingesting the data inside the vector store. The data in this situation is hysterectomy, PDF, and a URL. I'll show you in the code base over here. Actually, let's go to the code. Yeah. So the number of rewrites we shall have is 4. So these are the questions that multi-write question, and if for each and every question, as I said, we have to get relevant chunk from the vector store. So now in this, as you can see over here, we are retrieving questions. We are retrieving answers to the questions. Okay. Now we're ranking them so that we can avoid answers that are not. Our answer might get diluted from the questions. So this is the step that we this is the answer. Before performing a hysterectomy, several operative steps should be taken to ensure patient safety and surgical success. So these are the steps: medical evaluation, conduct a complete blood count, blood biochemistry, urinalysis. So the next step is blood management for patients with very large uterine fibroids, severe endometriosis. So you have to perform the blood management for them, and then risk management, consider intravenous. You just have to go ahead and read about hysterectomy. I'm using hysterectomy document over here, but yeah, you can go ahead and change it to whatever you want. So let's get back to our code base. Here, the first step is just like the rest. Set the URL. Once you set it, you have to build a vector store. Vector store is called multi-query vector store. What does it do? It stores the document that we scraped and the PDF over there as the text inside over there. Once you do that, you go ahead and based on the user question over there, you'll go ahead and generate. We ask the ChatGPT to rephrase the original question in n different ways. The n means it can be 4 in my situation over here. So the first one is based on the vocabulary, focus, that is considered prevention, and then different specificity. So that ChatGPT goes ahead and does that. High temperature means that it has to be more creative. Lower temperature means that less creativity. Okay. Then it will go ahead for each and every question. We have to retrieve the chunks from the database over there, and then use the multi retrieval. This is where it occurs. This step over here. So the next step that is very vital is re-ranking them. Why is re-ranking them very important is to just reduce the dilution of the original question that the user might have asked. So in certain situations, you just have to go ahead and use a cross-encoder re-ranker. So that is in certain situations, you just have to go ahead and use it instead of using LLM like we are using over here. Okay, so there's no temperature. So now, based on the fact that we have already gotten our top end clusters or top end documents that will be important, we use it as a context in generating our response. So that is how we build a multi-query RAG. You can see the pipeline over here. The first step is scraping, generate relevant questions, retrieve for each and every question, retrieve across all the variant duplication of the question. Then top end messages, passages of the documents is the one that we shall use to generate our answer. So yeah, thank you guys for staying here. We have studied about multi-query RAG and how you can build it. You have to know that it has several steps. One is, first of all, you have to generate questions. For each and every question, retrieve relevant chunks of passages of documents. Once you do that, you'll go ahead and re-rank the question so that you can prevent the original question from being diluted. Okay? Now, the top passages that you have over there is the one that you will use to generate an answer. So thank you guys. Watch out for the final rank that we will be studying and the most accurate of all of them. The next step after that will be building benchmark questions so that you can see the score based on our right. Okay, no, our PDF hysterectomy knowledge base. Thank you.